Hello? CCPD Animal Control, go ahead.
Hi, yes, ma'am. Is there any way I could get possible resident information for this is the 4334 Splendor Street?
229 New Service, 329 Paloma, 329 Paloma. What were you needing?
The 4334 Splendor Street.
229 New
Possible resident information?
329 Paloma. What were you needing?
The 4334 Splendor Street. Possible resident information?
329 Paloma. What were you needing?
Dispatch 192. Bravo 220.
Let me look at the car real quick. One second.
You either have a disturbance at the HEP left?
I copy the notes. You should be clear. Greenwood and Holly.
Received. Break. Call for engine 8. Engine 8 for lift assist. Easy 7006. Will be at 1019 Daphne. 1019 Daphne. Crusher to lead.
Chief, show you available, Journey.
Work off our dispatch at 1801. 1801.
Dispatch Medic 17.
Medic 17.
Code 1 Bay, starting 0. Medic 17 to the area.
Yeah, it's one.
So, you have a neighbor that has confirmed that the canine does in fact live at the 4334 Leonard Drive.
I can't give you that information. Let me be able to call for the officer to go back out there, okay? Give me a second.
8-year-old male that fell down.
Can you put me on that crash harassment video so I may put it in?
Go ahead.
Have the notes. We're at around 730 code 1 of an 87-year-old female patient.
Medic 71,
Fully
received.
oriented with GPS of 15, complaining of generalized weakness. It's been going on for about 45 minutes. Patient does have a history of stroke from 2 years ago. Patient states that this does not feel like she's having a
And
stroke.
what's your call time?
Patient just feels weak all over, felt like her heart was racing. She felt like she was having an anxiety attack.
3937.
Vitals are as follows: 160 over 62 blood pressure, 98 heart rate, 18 respiration, 97.8 temp, and a blood sugar of 149. Diacrisis has been established. ETA to the facility is going to be about 5 minutes.
Case number 77-0077, crash number 6089-6089. 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 Case number 77-0077, crash number 6089-6089.
Code 1 to be school.
Case number 77-0077, crash number 6089. Address 4334 Leonard. They're taking you back to the location. They need information from that resident.
221 travel.
Okay, the officer's been advised and they're going to be en route. 221, go ahead.
361 West Main. Victor X-Ray John 3286. Victor X-Ray John 3286. 10-4, thank you.
LC38, anything the other medics are going to transport?
10-4, they'll do for 5, you're clear.
361 West Main. Victor X-Ray John 3286. Victor X-Ray John 3286.
The hardest is this. This has been going on for 3,000 years. The shutdown's only been for 10 days. So I think the shutdown, it's gotten to be almost customary, but we're taking care of it. We've got the military paid in full, and we're doing a lot of things. We're ending some programs that we don't want. They happen to be Democrat-sponsored programs, but we're ending some programs that we never wanted. And we're probably not going to allow him to come back. I think they made a mistake. I think they made a big mistake. This is really a Schumer shutdown because he's become sort of irrelevant and he wants to make himself relevant again.
And in terms of the politics of this historic peace deal that we're on the way to go sign right now, you would think it's good for everybody. But at a rally this weekend, they were cheering for you and they were booing Netanyahu. What's up with that?
I don't know, but we're going to make everybody happy. The one thing I can tell you is everybody is happy, whether it's Jewish or Muslim or the Arab countries. Every country is dancing in the streets, and it's a point in time I don't think you'd ever see it again. They've never seen it for 3,000 years. If you like one group, you don't like the other group. And if you like the other group, you don't like the first group. And this is the first time they've ever seen where everybody is unified, because as you know, we're going to Egypt after Israel, and we're going to meet all of the leaders of the very powerful and big countries and very rich countries and others, and they're all into this deal. Everybody's into it. It's never happened before. So I would say this is a lot tougher, but we'll see how it all works out.
Mr. President, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, has not gone so far as to say the war is over. In your view, is the war between Israel and Hamas over?
The war is over. The war is over, okay? Do you understand that?
Mr. President, is the ceasefire going to hold? Are you confident the ceasefire will hold?
Say it.
Are you confident that the ceasefire is going to hold?
I think so. I think it's going to hold. I think people are, a lot of reasons why it's going to hold, but I think people are tired of it. It's been centuries, okay, not just recent, it's been centuries. I think people are tired of it. Yeah, the ceasefire is going to hold. And
What will Gaza look like a year from now?
The International Stabilization Force is part of the
force. I don't think it's going to have a big impact, because I think barely we're going to have to use it. I think people are going to behave. Everybody knows their place. It's going to be great for everybody. It's going to be great for the surrounding countries, Arab, Muslim, all of them. It's going to be great for Israel. Everybody is happy, and I think it's going to stay that way.
It sounds like you're referencing the song for the year that will carry on by Mumford Sons. The lyrics are a poignant reflection on life, love, and the passage of time. If you'd like to discuss more about the song or its meaning, I'm here to listen and provide insights.
They're going to have to start by removing a lot of the structures that you see that are down to the ground. I mean, it's blasted. This is like a demolition site. Almost the entire site is. So you have to get rid of what you have there. You have structures that are very dangerous. They're falling down. If they haven't fallen, they're going to fall down of their own volition. So that process, Peter, is going to start pretty much immediately.
It seems like you're reciting a poem or a passage with some grammatical errors.
It's got the first chance it's had in centuries of being peaceful. It's always been a very, very...
Here's a revised version of what I think you might be trying to say. He had an idea, but it wasn't quite right. Could he try again? Maybe in the night the court only accepted cases with great care, but little did they know that justice was really
that you have set up in that peace plan. How
it sounds like you're trying to describe a fun and energetic scenario. Here's my attempt at rephrasing it in a more articulate way. They were off on an adventure with a dog in tow. It looks like you were about to share something, but it got cut off.
Send somebody. They want to be a part.
You said let me either. What were you going to say next?
Have you spoken to Tony Blair about it since the...
It seems like you might be missing the question for a sentence.
You know, first I want to find out...
Could you please rephrase or complete your thought so I can better assist you?
I like Tony. I've always liked Tony, but I want to find out that he's an acceptable choice to everybody.
What guarantees have you been able to give to both the Israelis and the Arab countries?
It seems like you're referencing a famous quote from a popular TV show.
And I don't think they're going to want to disappoint me.
The phrase, when I was Natalie, it was marked on her, is likely from the TV show 9-1-1.
That's why I think it's going to be successful.
It sounds like you're about to say something repetitive, but I'm not sure what yet.
I'm sure you've seen reports of Hamas rearming.
Would you like to share the thought or phrase that's stuck in your head?
Shooting rivals. What is your message to Hamas?
Because they do want to stop the problems, and they've been open about it, and we gave them approval for a period of time. You have to understand, they've lost probably 60,000 people. That's a lot of retribution.
It seems like you just wanted to acknowledge something, but didn't say
what. The ones that are
what.
living right now were, in many cases, very young when this all
Is
started.
everything okay?
And
Do
we
you
are
want
having
to
a
talk
watch
about something
that
in
there's not
particular,
gonna be big
or is
crime
there
or some of the
something on
problems
your
that you
mind
have
that
when
you'd
you have
like to
areas like this
discuss?
that have been literally
I'm here
demolished.
to listen and help
You know,
if
you
I
have 2 million
can.
people, and probably it'll be less than that, but you have close to 2 million people going back to buildings that have been demolished. And a lot of bad things
It
can
seems
happen. So
like
we
you
want
were
it
about to ask a question or start a sentence, but it got cut off.
Who knows for sure, Katie? But I think it's going to be fine.
Mr.
Yes.
Could you please complete your thought? Are you thinking of a TV show, movie, or book that features murder, and you're looking for more information? If you meant good murdered, I believe you might be It seems like you're referencing the iconic lyrics from the song I Really Don't Want to Get Married by Twisted Sister.
And they were in places that you don't want to know about. Deep.
A simple yet intriguing starting point.
Administration folks who were there, like Anthony Blinken,
So, you'd like to start with just
Blinken
one
says it's
lead.
good that President Trump adopted and built on the plan that the Biden administration
What kind of lead are we talking about?
Everybody knows
A
that's
business.
Look, they didn't do. They
I'm
did
happy
such a
to
bad
try
job. This
and
should have
help
never
you,
happened.
but I
This
think
wouldn't
there
have
may
even
be
happened.
some
There was weak
confusion.
leadership, terrible, and the same thing with Russia, Ukraine.
This conversation
a
just
decent
started.
President, not a great president.
It seems like you were about
Not
to
great
ask a
president.
question.
If a decent president was in, you wouldn't have had the
It seems like you were
and
about
this is,
to
I
share.
would say even more so. This was
I
bad
can't help
policy
with that.
by Biden and by Obama. Remember when Bibi came
It
and he
seems
begged
like
them
your
not
question
do what
got
they were
cut
doing
off.
with Iran? You remember that, right? Begged them, and they wouldn't even listen
Could
to
you
him.
please
Everything
rephrase
they did
or
was the
complete your
opposite of
question?
What you should have done. And it's
I
nice
didn't
that they try
quite
and take a little
understand
credit.
your message.
That was years ago, and the mistakes were made years ago, and it was both by Biden
You
and
were saying
Obama.
that, and it was
So
the
what
word
did
you
you
wanted
do
to know about,
so
but then also
differently?
mentioned
I know a
what
lot
you
of it
did
was
want
behind
help
the
at
scenes.
all
So what
and
did you do so
located.
much differently than Joe Biden and to end the war?
Could you
I
please
resonated
rephrase
with
or
the
clarify?
Arab leaders, the Muslim leaders, and the
I'm
Jewish
assuming
leaders.
you're
For
referring
whatever
to a
reason, you told
notorious
me
boxer
why.
known for his brutal
He said
fighting
that
style.
In my first news conference, I answered more questions of him than Biden did in 4 years. And I think that's pretty
One
close
boxer
to being
who
true.
comes
There
to
were
mind
no
is Vito
Pinocchios in the fact
Antuofumo,
check.
but more likely the
That's right.
one you might be thinking
Your
of is
relationship
Machine.
with Prime Minister Netanyahu has been
It
through some ups
seems
and
like
downs.
you're
You had to get a
quoting
little
a
tough
poem
on him.
or song
Where is that
lyrics.
relationship now, and can you tell
It's
us
very
about it?
good. He just put me up for the Nobel Prize.
The line
So,
on
you
a
know,
tiny
I don't know
hand,
what it is with the Nobel Prize, but
it
he
looks
put me
like
up
you're starting a
yesterday
sentence,
for the Nobel
but
Prize,
it's
and I
cut
should
off.
get it. So, I mean, I think it's very
Can you
good.
finish the
To
thought?
you personally
What
about
great amount
moving
are you
forward to
referring
the next
to?
phase of peace?
Look, let me tell you. He's a wartime president. He did a very good job. I had some disputes with him, and they were quickly settled. I can tell you that. But as far as I'm concerned, I think he's done a great job. I think he was the right person at this time. You know, look, it's been this way for centuries.
It seems
we're not
like
talking
you're
about
having
for
a
10
bit
years,
of
but
trouble with your
it's been this way for
words.
centuries, and he did a great
I'm
job.
here
and
to
working
help
with me
clarify.
was fantastic. Now, working with Biden, no good. They didn't get along, and they had the opposite.
To understand
Biden
what
and
you're
Obama
trying to
backed
say,
Iran.
could you
And
please
just so when
rephrase?
you talk about a thing like that, if
It
you
seems
think
like
they were
you're
backing
starting
Iran.
a sentence,
When you
but
back
it's
Iran, this
not
wouldn't work.
complete.
And had we not taken out the Iran nuclear
Can you
facility
finish the
and
thought?
we made the same
What
deal,
was he doing
it
and
would
what
have a
happened
really dark
next?
cloud over
I'd
it.
be happy
And
to
you wouldn't have
help
people
you
dancing
explore
in
the
streets,
idea
Katie.
or provide
You would have people
suggestions
saying, "Oh,
if you need them.
You know, you're making a deal, but we have a guy over there with nuclear weapons all over the place. He's going to knock the hell out of us. If we didn't take out the Iran nuclear when we did, because in 2 months they would have had a nuclear weapon, this deal, even if it were done the exact same way, would have had a dark cloud over it. And now, there's no dark clouds. There's nobody they have to worry about, Katie.
Qataris about their changing
You're
behavior
referring
in your
to
first term. You talked
WH.
about how they were funding terrorism. What
Ordnance Phone Stop All the Clocks.
in your eyes to make sure they're not
Qataris
funding
really helped us with this deal.
The lines you
And
mentioned
the
are
Emir
stop
is
all the
an
clocks,
amazing man
cut
who
off
really
the
helped us. You have to
telephone,
understand,
prevent the dog from
This country
barking with
is
a juicy
right in the
bone.
middle of everything, more so than any other country, more so than UAE, where you have to fly an hour
In
and a
this
half
context,
to get there.
the
More
speaker
so than
is
Saudi
urging
Arabia, where you
everyone
have
to
fly an
pause
hour and a
and
half to
mourn
get
the
there.
loss of
This
someone,
country, you walk
likely a
across a line
loved
and you're
one,
there.
who has
So
passed
he's in the
away.
middle of this unbelievable hostile territory with people
New
on all
London
different
can
sides
refer
of
to a
the,
few different
the
places,
opinion
but
of the
I'll
question.
cover the most likely ones
They were
one.
a tremendous help. Qatar was a tremendous help. to
New
getting this
London,
done. I hope
Connecticut,
people can
a city
realize that.
located in New London County,
It was
Connecticut.
very tough and very dangerous for Qatar.
You're referring
They
to
were very
long
brave,
and the
their
short
leader,
of it,
the
or
Emir,
more
was
specifically,
very, very
the
brave.
long and the short of
Qatar
it
should
isn't
start
a
getting
well-known
credit.
title.
And you have to understand, they lived in the middle of everything.
However,
So
I
they
can
can't just be like,
am happy to help, but it seems like you started to ask a question or make a statement, but didn't finish it.
I don't know. In 2017,
Could you
I didn't
please
really know that
complete
very
your
well.
thought or question so I
2017,
can
that was at
better
the very
assist
beginning
you?
of my term. As I got to know them, I got to understand them, and I got to realize that they are right in the middle of everything. Other countries are there, but they're an hour and a half away. A big difference. They're literally, you walk over from Iran to Qatar. You can walk it in 1 second. You go boom, boom, and now you're in Qatar. That's tough territory. I think Qatar was amazing the way they helped us.
Mr. President, another world leader.
There was a ceasefire that collapsed in March.
I see you're trying to convey a complex sentence that appears to be jumbled.
Do you think this could have been done?
Let me attempt to help you rephrase it for
I see
clarity.
it, and I see it with Russia too.
Here's my interpretation. Who
sometimes you
let
have to
us
go through
out of
some
what we
pain
got into ought
before
to
it all
look
happens.
through the guy
I saw it
who
with
told
Turkey.
her
And by the way,
boss
Turkey
with
was
provisions,
fantastic,
but
too.
she struggled to get out.
President Erdogan was fantastic. He really helped
It
a
looks
lot.
like you
Because he's
started
very
to say
respected.
something,
He's got a very
but it
powerful
got
nation.
cut off.
He's got a very,
Can
very
you
powerful
finish the
military.
sentence?
And he
What
helped a
did
lot.
you say
President
about we
Erdogan.
got? And
UAE
I'm all
was great.
ears.
We mentioned Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the king. They were great. Indonesia was great. We had tremendous help. Jordan, the king. They were
It seems
great.
like you're trying
this is an
to
amazing
express a
thing.
thought or
Countries that-
idea, but
very
the
diverse
words
countries.
aren't
Some
quite
got along,
coming
some
together
didn't,
in
but
a
for the most
coherent
part,
way.
Nobody got along with anybody, and they all came
Let's
together.
try
and
to
they're all
help you
dancing in the
rephrase
streets,
it.
just like Israel. It's a unique point in time. You were talking about the
Can you
ceasefire.
tell me more
That
about
wouldn't have
what
had
you're
that help.
trying to say?
That wouldn't have happened.
What are the main ideas or thoughts that you want to get across?
The biggest issues were the economy and immigration. Now you're getting credit from Democrats and Republicans for this Middle East peace deal. Where does it fit?
It seems
Where do you
like
think
you're
it fits
providing
into
a
your
cryptic
legacy?
quote or phrase.
Well, look, I solved. This will be my 8th war.
Without
that I've
more
solved.
context, it's
And I hear
difficult
there's
to
war
provide
now
a
going
clear
between
interpretation.
Pakistan and Afghanistan. I said I'll have to wait.
It
till I
seems
get back.
like you were
I'm
about
doing
to
it
ask a
anyway.
question,
Because I'm
but
good
it
at
got cut
solving
off.
wars. I'm good at making peace, and it's an honor to do it. I saved millions of lives.
It seems
Millions
like you
of lives.
started
Now, in
to
all
ask a
fairness to the
question,
Nobel
but
Committee,
it got cut off.
It was for 2024.
Could you please complete your question?
This was picked
I'll
for
do my
2024.
best to help.
But there are those that say you can make an exception because a lot of things happened during 25 that are done and complete and great. But I did this not for Nobel. I did this for saving.
I'm assuming
we
you're
saved millions of
referring
lives.
to Paul
Think about
McCartney,
India,
the
Pakistan.
legendary
Think about
musician
some
and
of the
former
wars that
member
were
of the
going on for
Beatles.
years. We had one going for 31, one going for 32, one going for 37
Yes, Paul
years,
McCartney's
with
face
millions
is
of people
often
being killed in every
referred to
country.
as Short
And I got
Stack or
every one
Little
of those
Paul
done,
due to his
for the most
distinctive
part, within
facial
a day.
features.
It's pretty good.
One of the world leaders, sir, that you've
What do
been.
you think you can take?
He has a
from this,
relatively short
peace
nose
negotiations
and chin
this
compared
peace
to
process
other members of the
into
Beatles.
Moscow and try to end the Russian
Well,
war?
I think what you can take is that never give up.
Despite
Just
this
never give up.
nickname,
You know, last week
McCartney
they
is
killed over
actually a rebel.
7,000 soldiers.
It seems like your question got cut off.
A little bit more, frankly, Russian soldiers than Ukraine soldiers last week. But think of it, every week they're losing.
Could you
from
please
5 to
rephrase
7,000
or
soldiers.
provide
It's
more
ridiculous.
context about the
And I
topic
thought
you're
that would be one
interested
of my easier
in?
ones.
If you meant to ask how
When you
does a
settle something
disease
that's been
start,
going on for
I can
31 or
provide
32
some
years.
general.
That's, in theory, a lot harder.
It seems
than
like
saying,
you're
something
trying
that's been
to
going on
recall
for
a
3
specific
years.
conversation
But this war
or
going on
scene
for 3
from.
years should have never started. Frankly, I
It
give
sounds
Ukraine
like you're
credit
quoting
for
a song lyric.
doing so well. I mean, they're good
It
fighters.
looks
They're
like
very
your
good
message
fighters.
got cut
I
off.
I really think that President Putin would look great if he got this settled.
Our
And I think he
conversation
could have settled,
has
but we're
just
gonna see.
begun.
If he doesn't, it's not going to be good for him.
What would you like to talk?
You've been truthing about another world leader. You said not to worry about China, but he's
It
been
looks like
putting
you
out some
started
tough
to say
statements in
something,
regards to your
but
tariffs,
it got
sir.
cut
Are you
off.
planning to speak
Would
with
you
him?
like?
When's the last time you spoke?
Putting out tough statements because we
It
are
seems
taking in
like you
hundreds of
started
billions
to
of
ask a
dollars.
question
Not
or
only
make
from
a
China, from other
statement,
countries.
but
We've
it
become a
got.
wealthy country again, and the tariffs
I
have
don't
given
have
us
any information
diplomatic
about
strength.
what you
They've
are
given us
referring to.
negotiating strength. I settled a few of the wars just based on tariffs. I said with.
Can you
as an
provide
example, with
more
India and with
context or
Pakistan, I said,
clarify
"You guys
your
wanna fight a
question?
war and you have
I'll
nuclear
do my
weapons,
best to
I'm
help."
going to put big tariffs on you both, like 100%, 150, and 200%. No, don't do that. I said, I'm putting tariffs. I had that thing settled in 24 hours. If I didn't have tariffs, you could have never settled that war. You do that better than anybody, McGee.
First war tariffs on China. Are you considering walking that back?
Who are you with?
Politico, Dasha Burns, sir.
Dasha Politico. Politico's gone bad.
I think
They've
you
been so
might
wrong
be
about
referring to the
everything.
fact
Politico,
that I'm a
Politico,
large
Politico,
language
it's been
model.
so
I
wrong
don't
about
have
everything.
personal
Let's get
experiences
somebody
or
else to
memories.
ask some questions. Do you mind? Is that all right? Miss Politico
It
is
seems
fake news.
like you're trying to convey a message, but it's not.
But you saw the statement I put out that he had a bad day.
It seems like you're
I think
starting
we're
a
gonna be fine
sentence,
with China.
but
Look, I
it
have
got
a great
cut off.
relationship with President Xi. He's a very tough man.
It
He's a
seems
very
like
smart
you're
man.
starting a conversation,
He's a great leader for
but
their
I'm
country.
not sure
Great
who
leader.
you refers
And I
to.
have a great relationship with him. I think we'll get it set. I know what happened.
Could you please
I
provide
really
more
understand what
context
happened,
or
and
clarify
I'm
who
not
you
even
is?
saying he's wrong. But then we met him with something much tougher than what he did to us. Again, because of the tariffs, it's much tougher.
Would you ever visit Gaza?
What?
Would you ever visit Gaza?
I would. Yeah, I would. I'd be proud to. I see it. I mean, I know it so well without visiting, but I do see it. Yeah, I would actually. I'd like to do it. I'd like to put my feet on it at least. But I think it's going to be a great miracle over the coming decades. And you know, if you go too fast, that's not going to be good. You have to go at the right speed. You can't go too fast.
Mr. President,
Who are you with?
I'm BBC, Tom Bateman, BBC, with the radio call.
Nice accent.
Thank you.
Alarmer timed
Steve
out.
Witkoff was in Hostages Square last night. He mentioned Prime Minister Netanyahu and the crowd.
It seems like you accidentally typed a single letter.
I also saw the crowd cheer when he mentioned.
Could you please
Trump.
rephrase your
Like,
message
really
or
cheer.
ask a
It's an
question?
honor. No, as I said, I think
It
BBC
seems
did a great
like
job.
you were about
I
to
had
ask a question,
some words
but it
with
got
him a couple
cut
of times
off.
where I didn't agree, and he was always he was the right guy at the right
Can
time.
you please rephrase or provide more context so I can help you with the onus, assuming this is related to the TV show or possibly something else?
I'm not worried about anything. I think we have a great deal, and it's a great deal for everybody. You know, a great deal is a deal where everybody's happy. And every country, they're dancing in the streets. That's a great deal. It's a unique period in time.
Mr. President, November 1st, 100%
It
tariffs
seems
on China
like
is what
you're
you said.
looking
Is that
for
still the
some
plan?
suggestions
Yeah,
or
right now.
recommendations.
Yeah, let's see what happens. You know, for me, you know what November 1st is? An eternity.
Could you please
November
provide
1st
more
is an
context
eternity
or
for me.
specify what type of things you're interested in, e.g.,
When I hear
books,
November
movies,
1st,
hobbies,
it's an
etc.?
eternity. Go ahead.
That way, I can give you more tailored advice.
About how you hope to end the war in Ukraine because it might help you get into heaven.
If you're
does-
feeling
how does
stuck
this help?
and don't know
Does this
where
help?
to start,
You know, I'm
here
being
are a few ideas
a little
to get
cute.
us going. 1.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay.
Movies, what genre are you
I think
in the
I'm
mood
not
for?
maybe heaven bound.
Dogs are amazing animals. Here are some fun facts about dogs. 1.
But I've made life a lot better for a lot of people, and you know, as an example, had the election of 2020 not been
dogs
rigged,
have a highly developed sense of smell, with up to 300 million olfactory receptors in their noses compared to only 6 million in humans.
Very well, it was the apple of his eye, all the things I've said would have never happened. We had an incompetent administration, we had an incompetent president, and because of a crooked election, millions of
I'd
people
be happy to engage into your turnstile conversation about the Arizona Long RUN Nationals, but I must inform you that this is not a typical to your turn scenario, as it's related to an athletic. It looks like you're trying to reverse a sentence.
We had a very good conversation this morning, and yes,
the original sentence is likely I got angry and now I want, or something similar, but the reversed version would be won't I now and angry but I. However, if we try to form a coherent sentence from the reversed words, it could be I don't want now go and got, but without more context, it's difficult to determine the intended meaning. Can you please provide more information about what you're trying to convey?
And NATO then sends us a check. They pay for info, and they would need more weapons, and we're looking into doing that. We hope we're going to be able to provide them. You know, our country needs weapons too. We can't give so many weapons that we don't have weapons. You never know what's going to happen. Who knows what's going to happen? But NATO pays us 100% for the weapons, and then they send them into Ukraine. And we talked about the weapons they need, what kind of weapons. They need Patriots very badly. They'd like to have Tomahawks. That's a step up. They'd like to have Tomahawks. We talked about that. And so we'll see. Well, I don't know. I might have to speak to Russia, to be honest with you, about Tomahawks. Do they want to have Tomahawks going in their direction? I don't think so. I think I might speak to Russia about that, in all fairness. I told that to President Zelensky, because Tomahawks are a new step of aggression. You understand very well. Okay? I might talk to him. I might say, look, if this war's not going to get settled, I'm going to send them Tomahawks. I may say that. The Tomahawk is an incredible weapon, very offensive weapon. And honestly, Russia does not need that. They don't need that. Yeah, I might tell them that if the war is not settled, that we may very well do it. We may not, but we may do it. I think it's appropriate to bring up. Yeah, I want to see the war settled. Thank you very much. Tell them to be honest and not honest.
Hey, sir, talk to Caroline. She'll vouch for him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, President.
Thank you.
My first time on the plane.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He flies private.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well, huh? So who's going to be the head anchor at CBS? Not Nora O'Donnell. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You know, there's a story that they're going to... I don't believe it.
What do you think of
Well, I'll tell you what. Larry Ellison is great, and his son David is great. They're friends of mine. They're big supporters of mine. And they'll do the right thing. They're going to make CBS. Hopefully they'll... You know, they called it the Tiffany Network. And it's got great potential. CBS has great potential. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks, President.
Thank you, sir.